So we thought we'd do you a little walk around of the Franklin offset pit that we're getting into the UK now. We've got about 6 of these over so far. These are all pre-orders direct with Franklin, and we handle the logistics through our ProSmoke logistics company. So I thought I'd just give you a quick walk around, just some thoughts on it. I mean, it is a phenomenally built pit. It really is. The barrel is about 20 inch and it's about 35 inch wide on the cook chamber. Obviously, it's been designed and engineered from the ground up by Franklin himself. Probably not going to get a better cooking pit when it comes to your typical sort of Texas barbecue meats. Yeah, this thing really is quite something on the welding. I'm not a welder, so I don't know what type of welding this is, but it's probably the thickest sort of beading I've seen on a cooker. You're looking at like nearly an inch wide on the welds there. I mean, that's what connects obviously the domed end, and then you've got it on all of the ends, all the way down to the end cap. Huge welds. I mean, it's going to last forever, this thing. I think out of everything that we bring in, this is one of the best engineered pits we've seen. Even down to the casters. I mean, these casters they move this pit around really easy. I don't know what the exact weight is of this pit, but it's extremely heavy. When it came off the lorry, the balance of it, balancing point is sort of where that back leg is. So with the insulated firebox on here, it really does sort of add to the weight. Now, I don't think this is ceramic insulated box. I think it's just a dual skin on the steel. But the thickness of this is, what are we on here? It's about 10 mil thick, that steel. So you've got that on the door, and then it doubles up on the back of the cook chamber here. So you're getting a hell of a lot of steel for this. I know the price of imports does look very high when you compare what you can get one knocked up in the UK here for, but you just cannot compare this to anything that's available, I don't think, in the backyard range. This really is superbly built. And like I say, it's been built by Aaron Franklin, who's spent a fair share of time staring at a fire, knowing exactly how a pit should flow. You've obviously got the classic Franklin laser cut door there. This pit will run with the door closed, no problems. We ran it a couple of years ago when we got the original ones in. Wilson's Barbecues had one of these for a few years, and he loves it, speaks very highly of it. Everything, even down to this collector. I mean, the way this collector's been welded and attached just looks really slick. The inside of it, say you got 35 inch left to right, and then like 20 inch to the back, maybe just under. The doors are flanged on the inside, which I think gives a really nice finish, rather than your typical sort of outside flanging in the doors. By the flanger, I mean this here. This was what creates your seal. You've got Franklin's, I want to say, I don't think, potentially it's something he came up with, but this kind of letterbox here, this really does channel the heat across the middle of the chamber into that collector and then straight up. That's what's going to give you your sort of left to right evenness on your cooking flow. So you will see quite a bit of heat on the right hand side here. I think if you've watched a few of Mad Scientist videos, he sort of says that maybe this first 4 inches is going to get super hot, but we've cooked things that on that end, like wings, if you're waiting for a brisket to be finished, you can obviously put your pots of pit beans and things up there, or your water pan. Obviously, you get one of these attached to all of them. This is 0665. This pit was built a few months back, so I guess they've added a couple of hundred to that number by now. If you've got this pit, post your number, because it'd be interesting to see how many of these are shipping. I would imagine quite a few. I know the waiting list is pretty huge. It doesn't have the damper on top of the smokestack, because Franklin doesn't really want you choking them back. If you're going to choke them back, you do it by the rear here. So all your airflow is controlled by the door. Close the door with a small fire in there, and that just sits this thing in at like 275 Fahrenheit. If you watch his masterclass, he's working on one of these. So the Franklin masterclass is worth it if you've got one of these, because it's pretty much the instruction manual for this. They send an instruction manual with it, and we've ran these in various ways, and it's super easy to run. Insulated fireboxes do make your life really easy. You can run really small splits, really small fire, and the insulation keeps your coal bed really nice and thick. So that's going to just make your life super easy. We obviously, with our cactus jacks, we like to run the big fires with the big sticks and get really crazy with it. But with an insulated box, you can't really do that. It is really for if you want fuel efficiency and just that perfect smoke ring, that perfect smoke, that clean smoke, that blue smoke that Franklin talks about. So this is just a really quick overview, walk round, thoughts. If you want a more in-depth review of features and cooks, Wilson's Barbecue obviously has done all of those videos, and Mad Scientist did a really good breakdown of them. So we're just giving our thoughts on it. I think it's a great bit of kit. When you look out your window and you see a Franklin pit sat on your deck or your patio, I think that's really the mecca, isn't it? You could get obviously other make pits, but for some people and for enthusiasts like us who are just obsessed with this is the one. We'll have stock of these next year, so 2023, around March time. We'll be shipping them all over the place, UK, France, Germany, Italy. There's not really anywhere we can't get to. Pre-orders will probably open around late November, early December. At the moment, these pits are for people that have been on the waiting list. Their names come up after a few years, and we've just started shipping them over. But our stock will come over in a container, and it'll all be... I think we're only going to be able to get between 14 and 16 in a container. So once we announce pre-orders are open, they'll be open. It'll be full payment up front. Pricing we're working on at the moment, see where we can get them to. I fully expect the first 2 or 3 containers to sell out, just because we're shipping all over the place on them, and the demand is crazy on these. Keep an eye on our Instagram. You can also, we'll have a mailing list you can sign up to, and we'll have a countdown on the website for when the pre-orders are opening, just to make it all fair, and it'll be just first come, first served. We'll have some special things happening next year at our HQ in Banbury in Oxfordshire. We'll have all the classes, master classes. We've got a big new shop and warehouse opening, so it's all happening really. Franklin rubs, sauces, and all his other merch will be available. We got the rubs and sauces now, so you can go and grab them off our website, ProSmoke BBQ.co.uk. All the trays, all the t-shirts. What else has he got on his website? The knives. That will all be here next year as well. So we'll have the full kit. But yeah, it's just an overview of the Franklin pit. Stunning bit of kit. The mecca of offset smokers. Comments below, and let us know if you've got any questions. ProSmoke BBQ.